This is Joe Getz. A couple of people in the feedback for the source management workshop asked for a demonstration of the workflow using the tools we were talking about. So I'll do a quick recording that attempts to do that. Here in my Zotero is a lit review that I put together in June 2014. And the video on our libguide talks about how to get items into your Zotero. Once you have that, there's a couple of different ways you can organize it. One is through these folders, this folder structure over here. So here's something you could do with that. I had a really big long list of articles in this folder, and then I can drag them to a more specialized folder right here. Now these folders they're more like playlists in iTunes. They don't create extra copies of the items. They just help you sort them. So that's one way to organize. Another way is to organize by subject using these tags over here. So if I go through and read these and make annotations, I can see all those by clicking Shift plus. So there's different keyboard shortcuts. So that shows my annotations. Here's one where I made a few notes on the article. And I can tag either items. Here's tags for the item. I can tag either items or notes within the item or attached to the item. And then I go over here to my tag structure and I can click on the tag I want, and it'll get rid of everything in the list there that is not tagged with that. So I can get all my performance assessment tagged items, and then if I want both performance assessment and higher order thinking, I can click both of those. So that's a flexible way of organizing by subject the items within your folder over here. And by using this, you can delete tags from items, you can add more tags to items, and over here you can rename the tags or change them as you go along. So that works pretty well. Quick demonstration of extracting annotations. This article here, I've opened up, or this article here rather, I've opened up in Acrobat Reader, and I've made a couple of highlights to it. I'm going to save that, and then in Zotero with my Zot file plugin installed, I can right click and do manage attachments, extract annotations, and it should pull those highlighted sections into a notes field with all my highlights right there. Now if I click on this, it should open up a copy of the article, and I clicked on a highlight that's on page 2, and it took me right to that one on page 2. So that's a handy way of keeping track of your highlighted citations. You will both extract annotations, and I've got summaries added to a lot of these that I developed and added on as my sense of my project grew. Now, I think compiling and sequencing and organizing are really different activities, so I actually find it helpful to use a different approach or a different app to do that. The one I demonstrated in class is iThoughts, which is a mind mapping software. And this is really powerful at allowing you to sequence. You can really easily change the sequence or change the hierarchy of what you're doing just by moving things around. You can clean it up. It's infinitely expandable. You can create links to other maps. That's what I've got here. So there's a lot you can do with that. It's a very robust program. If you want something simple, on the App Store, if you have a Mac, there's an app called Simple Mind Free. And I haven't worked really with it, but it has a good reputation, and the free version is a good app for getting started on this. And if you're on a Windows computer, then the FreeMind app is a free open source app that worked really well with me and for me. And you can upgrade later because the file formats are readable by both. Now, one thing I'll tell you about Zotero for this tag structure to work in your preferences, you have to make sure that this automatically tag items with keywords and subject heading thing is not checked. Because if it is, it'll extract subject headings from the database, which will clutter you up and they're useless. You can learn, I believe, that tip and many others by going to the library page under classes and events. If you click on that, we've got a Zotero workshop coming up on June 23rd. And the handout for those Zotero workshops is on the LibGuide that I sent you, the link to on the handout. Also on that handout is my email address and phone number. So if you want to talk to me more with about any of this stuff, please get in touch. Okay, thanks very much.